Perhaps.
I think we're waiting to get the green light to go. And there it is. We've gotten our green light. Here we go into game number 1 between Frozen and Jiggs.
Frozen and Jiggs. Let's get it. So we know, just if anybody who's watched Ultimate since the very beginning, you know that this could be a bit of a difficult one for characters like ZSS and Palutena for some very obvious reasons. But we have advanced so far in the meta since those opening thoughts of the game that, you know, maybe people are a little bit more comfortable here. We'll have to see.
Yeah, and it's funny, just we were commenting on how well HO3K's been doing this weekend, and yet another player here in a get-out match. This is a get-out match for pools on winner's side, so Frozen versus Jiggs. Man, you can see a lot of House of 3000. How are you going to run the stream if you're all making it forward in bracket?
You're all in top 8. There is a timeline where that might actually happen. I don't want to say I don't want to see it, but somebody has to run that damn stream, House of 3K, but Frozen right now looking very good. Of course, yes, in a slight deficit, but she does have the strength advantage on Pikachu in some of these interactions, at least when it comes to KO options that are going to be tossed out towards these later points of the match. I got dash attack and I have backer, most notably that Pikachu's going to struggle to kind of work around a bit. Pikachu, though, does have neutral special. That Thunder Jolt, that's a good opener, good party starter right here for a Pikachu or Pichu of all sorts.
Looking a little rough, like you mentioned there, Rod. Just feels like Frozen is not getting her openings in, and Palutena, they go off the stage with a back air. We're going, wait, this level you can't do that. What are you doing?
Yeah, it doesn't go all the way through, my friend, but Jiggs makes it back nice. Down tilt in the corner.
Do you have any New York Pikachus?
That's a good question. I don't actually go to Xeno as much as I should. I just wait for everybody to pull up to the house and play. So I don't think we've had any like strong Pikachus pull up yet, but it's Tri-State. I know they probably exist. I mean, there's a bunch of rats in New York, so some, you know, it has to be a thing. I'm sorry, I had to. But no, all jokes aside, there probably is out there.
I mean, Frozen's been a top player for a long time, so I'm sure she has options to take care of business here with this little finicky mouse. He's slippery, Pikachu.
But here's the trap, though, and yes, Pikachu unfortunately takes the cheese bait and gets caught in the trap. Frozen looking good here, has certainly looked better at points and times, and Jiggs very well aware of it, holding on to this lead. Going to try to nair through the Thunder Jolt. That's that split-second decision-making right there that just makes Frozen so terrifying to fight, but Jiggs not having any of it, gets the red stuff. I love this corner control here, that run-off nair.
Thought you were naming off a Denny's entree there for a second.
I am getting hungry.
Split-second decision. I believe it's split decision at Denny's. Gonna need some Denny's if they can find their way back on this one. That 146 deficit, and Jiggs is not giving Frozen any openings whatsoever. They're staying very defensive, very calculated, if you will.
Untouched. Look at this, 0%. Frozen's really struggling right now. Another nair. Jiggs untouched. Okay, finally finds an opening. Nothing off the grab. It's just, yes, going to nair out a disadvantage. Still one of the strongest moves in the business, but Pikachu comes through and throws that crane him around. Dash Attack's going to get it done.
And I think that's one of the biggest struggle points for Pikachu. I think Pikachu and Peach have kind of a similar problem. Oh, got a drag down. Frozen almost able to combo off of that, but they can't find a way to get the stock off the board. They can get all the damage, but if you have a neutral game that is so strong like Pikachu does versus Palutena, it doesn't matter. Eventually the stock will come off the board, even if it's at 188. If you never get hit in the process, who cares?
That's right. Okay. Nice spacing out those back airs in the corner, and I like where Frozen's starting to go for him. Like, maybe not so much like on the silver part right there, the ledge, but more so in the green. That way, if Pikachu decides to go high, backer can try to catch you as you're trying to get on that top platform. And if you just kind of stay centered up, you won't be able to get through that if you're on the ground. So, spacing out here just a little bit better as opposed to like trying to forward or back air, excuse me, all the way to the corner. You don't want to be anywhere near the ledge versus Pikachu. Back throw.
Yeah, give her credit. Frozen has not given up at all. They're staying right in the match here. Only 51%. Could get a little uglier here. Pikachu with Rage, though, most of the combos don't work or have to be very heavily modified. So let's see if Frozen can capitalize on that here. 71 now.
Okay. That rising back here. Really trying to force Frozen off stage. Jiggs just has complete control of this match. Another Nair. It's looking good, though, right now. Looking for Explosive Flame for some sort of coverage. Anything right here out of Palutena's toolkit can probably get it done. Rolls out smart.
Now Palutena starting to have the Pikachu problem, struggling 175% on Pikachu and misses the ledge. Unfortunate for Frozen. It's a 2-stock in game number 1 for Jiggs.
Yeah, mega unfortunate indeed. I mean, we said it kind of going into this match, you know, Frozen, very strong player, but Palutena is just going to struggle versus the Rats, and for very, very obvious reasons. You know, Palutena, you know, Pikachu and Peach just, they crouch under a lot. They can be all on her at once. I guess, you know, Palutena does have some options out of shield, but let's be real, like, it's just so hard to work around when you have the quick buttons that are the Rats just constantly smothering you. I would like to see Explosive Flame used a little bit more. I do know that Pikachu has a pretty good recovery system, but I think, you know, recovering for free is one thing, but recovering with the threat of Explosive Flame or an auto reticle on my tail is a completely different scenario, you know?
Yeah, and see, when you're at a deficit like that, Frozen can't stick to that gameplay, right? She's got to think about, all right, how do I close the stock out rather than how do I build the lead? Because a lot of people get really wrapped up in those two things, like, oh, just play to win, but you're playing with the lead. If you knowing how to play with the lead is very important, and especially in a matchup that's bad, right?
Yeah.
Or quote unquote bad.
Quote unquote bad.
Because you know, it's all in the eye of the beholder, right? So it looks like it's gonna be. Is that Final Destination? We're doing.
I can't see what's going on here.
Well, seems like they're.
Oh wait, here it is. This screen's over here. Sorry, stream. It's still on the players, but.
We have his character switch to Mythra.
Pyra and Mythra, that's right. Mythra's getting it done. Now, I could not for the life of me remember who Frozen's other character was. I was like, it's Palutena and somebody. It's Pyra and Mythra, and it is a very, very fearsome combination of character for her. But Jiggs kind of can apply a lot of the same things that we've seen in that last game to this one. Of course, no platform, so combo extensions are going to be a little different for both sides, especially when Mythra's online. But really the off-stage presence, I feel like it actually gets a little worse for Frozen here.
Yeah, the offstage perhaps is a little worse, but we're not going to see the same problem with netting the kill that we saw with Pyra or with Palutena. Pyra is always online, can take a Pikachu stock in the double digits pretty easily, but that back air is going to seal it for Jiggs. This is definitely not a walk in the park for Mythra Pyra, but I would say it probably is just a little bit better of a chance than Palutena.
Yeah, I feel like Palutena as a character is very strong and like beating you down and really kind of kicking you while you're down. That's kind of how oppressive some of the exchanges feel, depending on the matchup. But, you know, this is a game of taking stocks. And Palutena can do that. But if it's not happening with some relative ease, the character kind of struggles. Pyra and Mythra, on the opposite end, do not struggle to take stocks, especially Pyra.
Yeah, trying to get the Blazing End to connect on Pikachu's recovery, just barely living that forward air. And I think even Frozen thought they were dead because they switched back to Mythra. And had to switch back to Pyra again. Now off stage, no jump. And finally going to find a way to get the stock off the board, but 160, not the percent that Frozen is really looking for, I don't think. Oh, nearly got the down air spike there. And now it's Frozen's turn up, and she was unable to capitalize there.
Oh, nothing off the foresight too. Unlike the Bat Within, she is still in full advantage, if I'm not mistaken. So, foresight, very strong tool in Mythra's toolkit, but still could not find an opening right there on Jiggs. F smash, I love it. Just a little early on the swing.
That was a really good up B. That just great foresight from Jiggs there to know that they were going to let that forward smash go and trying to anticipate a regular recovery. Kind of keeps them in control of the game here. There's a down smash. I'll try to cover the standing get it with down smash. I'm very shocked that didn't hit. Dash attack not enough to kill.
Mythra back online, switching directly back over to Pyra. Nice, gets the trumpet to the backer. We should still be okay, but yes, we're going to double dip and get it done in a big way. Jiggs right here with the lead, but what really is a lead sometimes versus Pyra and Mythra, especially Pyra. Now, of course, where you lack in speed, you definitely make up in power. Might want to force Jiggs to think twice before swinging on you, but Mythra's here.
Yeah, really good execution on the lightning loops there from Jiggs. They've been really in control of the fight here. Start to finish, there's a Pyra jab looking for anything that they can put together to get the kill on this Pikachu. They've not had the answers. Frozen finally gets an up air, 65% deficit, but it has felt like Frozen's been struggling this whole time, Rod.
I'm gonna have to agree with that. You know, Frozen, of course, playing some very, playing very strong characters. I think Frozen's a strong player, but Pikachu just seems to be kind of a thorn in Pyra and Mythra side, depending on the interaction. Not as much, obviously, as Palutena, but I think the big difference here is that, you know, both sides very strong in going back and forth from the neutral. We got to take stocks, though. And I think just due to, like, the actual mechanics of the character, Jiggs is just getting Frozen off stage and back airing every time. I think Pyra, though, has the strength factor that we're not seeing really any of. Frozen is really leaning into the Mythra play.
I actually feel like Mythra already has the strength you need to deal with Pikachu. You probably don't need to use too much of Pyra unless you get an optimal punish, right? Oh, it went through the down air, tried to call that up B. Good angle by Jiggs to get around that. And they've really been going this land behind her shield, go for a double aerial. I don't know if Frozen can punch that. Oh my Lord, I thought that would have done it too. 81%. If you get that pickup with the first hit, it can get very deadly very quick, but it's not going to be the case. It's Jiggs who has all the answers for Frozen. 2-0 victory on the board, and they'll move on. So HO3K not going to fight each other in the winner's bracket here, Rod.
That's good. I didn't want to have to commentate any HO3K on HO3K blood. I'm not here for it.
No.
Not here for it. Those are my people. But great stuff right there to both of those individuals. Of course, Frozen's going to take a trip down to the loser side, where she'll have to face off against a few more opponents than what she probably, anticipated. And, of course, Jiggs moving on to the next portion of bracket. Clean stuff. The Pikachu gameplay proven to still be pretty relevant in this current meta.
And round 2 pools are 20 minutes or 19 minutes now away,
That's right.
Rod. So Jiggs will not have to rest for very long. There's plenty more action coming up there. But there's a few more people who still need to get into those final round 2 pools.
That's facts, bro.
Get a few more of those matches here for you in just a moment.